Hi guys, I'm Upsahl and I'm here today chatting with Milky. The main reason I do music, I always say, is because of my dad. I grew up in like a very musical family. My dad was always playing in punk bands and like doing shows and touring throughout my childhood. So we had a band room in the house with a bunch of instruments. And so naturally, like before I could talk, basically, I was like hitting a guitar, trying to like make noise. I think it just like snowballed until I got older. And then my parents were like, she doesn't shut the fuck up. She's singing all day. Like, let's put her in like a music school. So then I started going to a music school when I was 10 and like did that until I was 18 and then moved straight to LA just to like do music full time. So I just grew up like it was always just the only thing I liked to do. Into My Body was a fun one to write because it's such a like high energy fun song when you listen to it, but I wrote it during a time in my life where I was doing really bad. I had just gone off of opening for a bunch of artists on tour, so I had just been like, you know, kind of like thriving in the chaos for a while, and I got home to LA, went to the studio, and I was like my brain had finally settled for the first time in months, and I was like, this is so weird. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like I'm here right now. Like, it was just a weird kind of like out of body experience. And I went into the studio and I was like, we have to write about this. Like, I want to get really vulnerable, but I don't want to write sad songs. Like, we need to do something that's dancey and high energy. So we kind of wrote this song that's actually kind of sad, but we made it sound like it's fun. So you can cry to it, you can dance to it, whatever you want to do to it. Music videos are like, have always been one of my favorite parts about being an artist, honestly. Like, being able to, I'm a very visual person anyways, like making music, like I visualize it on like in the Logic session or whatever we're producing in. So then getting to like make it actually look cool and like elevate the song is always really fun. For Into My Body, I kind of wanted to make it like very literal, and I worked with this director, Anastasia, who was amazing, who wrote the whole treatment for it. And she was like, we need to show the separation of like your head and your body. Like, we're gonna basically chop off your head. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I'm there. I just like followed her lead on it, and she absolutely killed it. And yeah, it's always scary getting like the first cut of a music video back. I always get so scared to like watch it, but this one I watched and I was like, oh, this is epic. She killed it. So yeah, it was a fun process for sure. One of the funny moments shooting that music video is there's like a part in the video where the dancers are kind of like pulling me back and I'm like screaming and like fighting to get out. They had me do I'm a horrible actor, like that's why I do music. And Anastasia, the director, was like, I need you to scream and like be mad you're trying to leave. And like she was playing my song Into My Body, and I was like, I can't scream to this. Like, do we have like a really aggressive song? So we turned on like the craziest, most just aggressive, loud, like screaming music, and did like 20 takes of all of us just like screaming in the room. Like the whole crew was screaming just to like make me feel comfortable. And I would need to go find some BTS footage of it because it was pretty funny. Ooh, I don't know. I kind of love, the lyrics that I find my fans like from this song make me happy because they're the ones that I was like felt a little too vulnerable saying when I was writing it. Like the back half of the second verse is like, what if I can't be loved? What if I'm not enough? Like all of these kind of like very existential thoughts that I was very much feeling at the time, and my fans being like, oh, I feel that too. Like, we're with you. I'm like, okay, cool. We're all in this shit together, you know? The mix of genres in my music comes from like what I grew up listening to, which was like a lot of Weezer and like punk music because of my dad, like some Gwen Stefani and like Outkast sometimes. And I think it's like a mixture of that in like my childhood, and then whatever songs that I'm liking right now. So like one day I'll hear whether it's like an old Prince song that like inspired the vocal of Into My Body, or if it's like a dance record that inspired the production. I think it just depends on like what I'm listening to at the time. And I feel lucky to exist in music right now where like genre doesn't really matter anymore and you can literally make whatever you want. So it's fun just kind of like pulling inspiration from like different artists, different sounds, and sometimes movies. Like I think it comes from all over the place. My writing process changes every day, honestly, just depending on how I'm feeling, how inspired I'm feeling, and who I'm working with. I love collaborating. Like, I write alone a lot. Like, I'll drink a bottle of wine and write sad songs on piano all night, but like, I love to write around people. So I just kind of come in with normally like a lyric idea or like a title, and we go from there, or like a bass line or a drum loop, and we just kind of build off of that. But it's fun getting to write for other artists, because then I get to come in and they come in with whatever story they have or whatever feeling or emotion they're going through, and then me as a songwriter, I just get to like help elevate that and like help them say what they want to say. So it's definitely like a different process for sure. I've been wanting to just like visit Australia since I was a kid. Like, it's always seemed like such a cool place to me. So the fact that my first time being here is also on tour is like really surreal. I think just the coolest moment was when I got off the plane. I was like, oh shit, like we just flew here, me and my band, we have a show. Like, I've never been here. What if no one shows up? Like, does anyone here know who I am? And was a little stressed the day of the show. And then our first show happened in Melbourne, and like it was just so magical being like really far away from home and having people there who are dope and know the words to my songs. Like, it was a really, really cool moment for me and my band. It was really fun. And now that we're in Sydney, we have a day off tomorrow, so I'm about to be like the most touristy bitch ever. I cannot wait. I'm gonna go find a kangaroo. We're gonna, the Bondi Beach Walk. Like, we're doing all the touristy things tomorrow. It's gonna be great. The live show is just super high energy. I think regardless of what type of music I'm making at the time, whether it's like a dance record like Into My Body or super pop or whatever it is, I think just because of how I grew up around like punk and rock music, the live show feels very rock and punk inspired. So whenever people are like, what to expect, I'm like, just be ready to fucking rage. That's literally it. The shows are really fun for us, so I hope that fans feel the same when they come to shows. Yeah. I didn't realize how important live shows were to me until they were taken away from all of us 2 years ago, and like that was insane. I just kind of dove into writing during COVID, and then played my first show back and like got off stage and just like broke down. I was like, oh, that's the piece of me that's been missing. Like, God, I miss this. So I think having the time away from playing shows makes me as an artist, and I think everyone as fans and like concert goers, appreciate being at shows like a million times more. I think the energy at all the shows I've been to and the ones I've played has just been like so unmatched, and like everyone's taking care of each other. Like, it's so much fun. I'm just so glad that like shows are back, and I think this past month of me doing like my first ever headline tour has literally made me like the happiest I've been in so long. So yeah, I feel very lucky to be on tour right now. Oh my God, what if they don't match and I'm a fake? Definitely just my dad. Like, he has always been like the person I send all my demos to, and like he'll send mix notes on songs. Yeah, he's definitely like my biggest musical influence. Doja Cat, forever. Did that one match what I said last time? I'm scared. Doja Cat, yeah. Yes. Abbey Road by the Beatles or The Bends by Radiohead. Did that match? Fuck yeah! I'm killing this. I want to say Interstellar because it's my favorite movie of all time, but like that is the best soundtrack of all time, so I would make the movie significantly worse. But I would try. Interstellar. Really? Yo, I'm consistent. That's impressive. I'm very consistent. Love that. It's funny because my brain would be in a million places, and especially on this past tour, I've been the most present on stage like ever. Like, I don't think there's a single thought in my brain that doesn't have to do with like what we're doing in the moment, which is like the most present I ever am, because normally my brain is spinning. So I appreciate like my hour on stage every night. It's like the most peaceful my brain gets, for sure. Miley, probably. Oh, duh. Avril Lavigne. That whole first album. What was that album called? It was like Complicated, Let Go, where she's like standing in the street and it's all. So yeah, so good. Avril Lavigne. I sang the shit out of every Avril Lavigne song as a kid. Avril Lavigne. I mean, Beyonce. Every time she tours, I go see her. I'm obsessed with her. I'm the most consistent bitch there is, guys. This is great. I think it was like a Fiona Apple. Did I get that right? Yo, that's crazy. It was like a Fiona Apple 45. It wasn't even like a big one. It was like one of the tiny ones that just had like a couple songs on it. I think my dad actually bought it for me. I did not buy it. But that was the first album that was like mine. Yeah. Spice Girl. Like Baddie Spice. I don't know. Is that good? What?
You're like, I would probably call it Betty Spice or something.
What?
Betty Spice is pretty iconic though. Yeah.
That's actually so weird, because that's, wow.
Yeah.
My brain is so boring. It just does the same shit. That's kind of funny. That's funny. I think the show that I just played that ended our US headline tour in LA at the Roxy was crazy, just because the Roxy's iconic. It's like an iconic venue in LA, and I played it. We sold it out, which was really fun. And that night, my manager was there, my dad was there, and my first show ever I played in LA was at this little tiny bar called Hotel Cafe, like 5 years ago, and 3 people were there, and 2 of them were my dad and my manager. And so it was really fun to like, it was like a cool like full circle moment for the 3 of us. It was really cool. I mean, I love listening to like old Hannah Montana. Like, I love that. I think, yeah, I don't think any music is like what you said, like none of it's guilty, because if you enjoy it, it's, you fucking enjoy it. But Hannah Montana, like I do know every word to every Hannah Montana song. Really? When did we do this? Was it like
October? This went live on October 14th last year.
That's so crazy. That's so sick. That's so funny. I love that. That's so sick. I mean, Madison Square Garden in New York is like, would be iconic. Yeah. I mean, Billie Eilish probably. I mean, not probably, definitely. I'm just grateful being an artist in like that kind of alt pop world, following in Billie Eilish's footsteps, because she's paved the way for like so many artists like me to feel comfortable and to break genre boundaries, and just like she does whatever the fuck she wants and did it from such a young age, which is like mind-blowing to me. So yeah, I'm just grateful that an artist like her exists, because she makes our lives very like a lot easier, for sure, because she's like paved the way for a lot of us. To remember what this tour feels like, honestly, because I feel like it's so easy for everyone, but like for me to get so caught up in bullshit and just life and being stressed and the chaos. And I think this tour specifically, in the past like month of my life, every day I'm just like, you need to soak all of this up. Like, this is so fucking cool. Like, this is your dream that you've wanted since you were a kid. Like, enjoy this. And I think, you know, a year from now, I don't know if I'll have done another headline tour by then. So like, hopefully I can just like remember what this feels like, because it's fucking rad. Yeah.
That was a completely different answer.
Ooh, what was my answer? Oh shit. I said, so boring. I tell her to drink some water and get some sleep and take care of yourself. Word. I'm doing that now. I'm self-caring it up now. Literally. And it says right now I'm so in Lady Jesus world, which is my last album, that I'm like not sleeping till the album is out. That is true. I'm just raging. This is the funniest quote ever. So I feel like I need to tell my future self to take a chill pill for a second. That is so true. I went sober on this last tour just for the month, like nothing crazy, but I took a chill pill, guys. I took my advice. It's fucking sick. I don't think there was ever like a moment where I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. It was always just like, I tried so many other hobbies. I tried doing other creative things, and music was the only thing I was like remotely good at. And it was just always the thing I kept coming back to. So from as long as I could remember, like, this was what I was like chasing. And so when I like graduated high school and had to like go into the real world, I was like, oh fuck, this is like my only option. I don't do anything else. Like, we got to make this work. So yeah, it's always been music for sure. Really? Fuck yeah. Oh, my parents.